when we think about chemical imbalances, we think, okay, well, that happened when you were born, right? But there's a lot of things that scientifically, when we look at our brain makeup, when we look at the chemicals in our brain, when certain traumatic events happen, some of that chemical makeup can change, and it causes kind of almost little fragments, right? It can cause other things, memory loss or memory suppression. And in ways that like, well, my memory was good before, and then something changed, or the way I responded to someone touching me, the way my body physically felt, the chemicals that are released when someone touched me before as opposed to now. There's a lot of there are a lot of scientific changes that happen within your body when you experience trauma, and specifically at a young age. And like I said, it's not like this, to my knowledge, it's not like this profound correlation, right? And I think there's a lot of people who will still say, no, it's strictly this chemical thing that happened in your brain when you were born. But I think those of us who have ADHD and have experienced trauma can kind of attest to the possibility that there is a large uh, correlation here. And I know, we talked in your first episode about our uh, traumas from when we were our childhood traumas, and the fact that we both have ADHD. I've talked to other people who have been diagnosed with ADHD, and they also experienced some kind of trauma in their childhood. Not every single time, or at least not every single time was it a trauma that they felt or something they felt was a traumatic event. But we know it could be something as simple as your parents divorcing. It could be, it can be something that, and even for me, realistically, because my grandmother was divorced, my mother was divorced. So for me, me getting divorced may not seem like a traumatic thing to my child, you know, because I'm kind of used to it. But to my child, it's traumatic to them because just because it was, you know. I want to briefly kind of touch on that correlation and what you've seen in your career, your professional experience, and even your own personal experience of that correlation between ADHD and trauma.
Check us out on YouTube at Reah Higgs, ReahHagues. You can also keep up with us on Instagram at Just the Who Podcast.